Oh, good. Hello, Mr. Greg, and hi, Jasmine. Excuse me. Hello, Mr. Greg. Hello, Jasmine. Hello, Frank Morgan. I haven't done this for 3 weeks now, and it's been bless me. Hello, Phil. I'm going to play your guitar in a minute, but not first off. And hi, Carol. This is called T-Bone's Decades. I've been trying to think of a few different songs to do, and they're not all from different decades. These 10 songs cover the 6 or 7 decades that we've got from the 60s onwards. I'm not doing any of the older bluesy ones today, and I'm not going to tell you what decade they're from. We'll talk about the songs after I do them, not before them. Most of them is really obvious, but if you want to see what decade you think it is, then just bang it in while I'm singing or at the end, and then I'll tell you at the end anyway. This first song, I'm only going to tell you that it always makes me think about Bognor. I must have heard it in Bognor Regis the first time I heard it. I'm all of a jamblement tonight. And it's by a guy called Jose Gonzalez, who's actually born in Scandinavia, but his parents were, I think, refugees from Argentina. Anyway, I actually had to look this one up. I couldn't remember what decade it came from. It's called Heartbeats, and it's a lovely atmospheric thing. One night to be confused, one night to speed up truth. We had a promise made, 4 ends and then away. Born under influence, we had divine sense to know just what to say. Mind is a razor blade to call for hands of above. To lean on wouldn't be good enough for me, no. To call for hands of above, to lean on wouldn't be good enough. One night of magic rush, the start a simple touch. One night to push and scream, and then relief. 10 days of perfect use, the colors red and blue. We had a promise made, we were in love. To call for hands of above, to lean on wouldn't be good enough for me, no. To call for hands of above, to lean on wouldn't be good enough. And you knew the hand of the devil. kept us awake with wolf teeth, sharing different heartbeats in one night. To call for hands of above, to lean on wouldn't be good enough for me now. To call for hands of above, to lean on wouldn't be good enough. Sorry about the snivelling. It's not that I've lurgified, it's just I had a touch of the sneezes just now. I do not know where they came from. Hi Ross Cuthall. Hi Ken Powry and hi Kevin. Has anyone said what decade it is? Okay, hi Gail. Okay, that was Heartbeats with Jose Gonzalez, and I had to look it up to see what decade it came from. I must have heard it first in Bognor Regis, and it was around about 2003, 2004. So the decade that some odd people call the noughties is when that one came from, Heartbeats. It's a great song, and it's quite hard to play it and sing it at the same time because of that odd hypnotic guitar figure, but really enjoyable. And now a special treat. My pal Phil Conkey is in Utrecht just now at a festival with some other pals, and he just got himself a rather fancy new acoustic guitar, and he said he would leave it with me while he was away so I could have a wee shot. So it's a rather nice guitar. We're talking four figures, between 2,000 and 3,000 quids. So I've not got it standing on a stand because I'd just knock it over. You know what I'm like. Okay, so that one was from 2000 to 2010. Hi Sue. This next one is one of my songs, and this is an easy one to guess which decade it came from. It's called You and Me. Just about a girl from Cowdenbeath. Not a real girl from Cowdenbeath. A fictitious girl from Cowdenbeath. Okay, just like You and Me. And this lovely guitar. And he was born in Primer Place with a good heart and a pretty face. She was never a charity case, she was just like you and me. She went to Broad Street Primary School. She wasn't a genius, she wasn't a fool. She did her work and she followed the rules, 'cause she was keen to please. Just like you and me, they're too small to be seen by the winners in the world. The ones who make deals don't believe that she can feel. Just an ordinary girl, just like you and me. She left behind not a lot to show. She got a job in the baby grow. Had hopes and dreams that you'd never know, she'd never let you see. She found herself with a lover's child. She married the boy who'd made her smile, and she was happy for a little while, well, as far as she could be. Just like you and me, but too small to be seen by the winners in the world. The ones who make deals that don't believe that she can feel. Just an ordinary girl, just like you and me. Now she's living on her own. The joker left and the kids have flown. She grits her teeth and she carries on like other times before. The cards were dealt and the coin was tossed. Now she's left with a sense of loss, but still a spark of the girl she was that could have been much more. Just like you and me, too small to be seen by the winners in the world. The ones who make deals don't believe that she can feel that just an ordinary girl, just like you and me, just like you and me, just like you and me. Hi, John Bolt. Catch up when you can, mate. No problem. Hi, Paul. It is a nice Taylor, Ken. It's A 414 CE/R. But it's a really nice guitar to play. Okay, what is next? I do not know. Oh, I do know. Yeah, this next one again, I could say lots about it, but I'm not going to because that gives the decade away. That one by me, by the way, for anyone who didn't know, was from this decade. It was just last year that I wrote it. One of my lockdown songs. I had a kind of fertile period during lockdown. So the next one, it's a Neil Young song, Only Love Can Break Your Heart. And it's not a hard one. I mean, everyone knows it from its time, except that it is kind of, it's just into a decade, shall we say. Okay. Take the cap off or I'll sound like Neil. I'll be howling. When you were young and on your own, how did it feel to be alone? I was always thinking of games that I was playing, trying to make the best of my time, but only love can break your heart. Try to be sure right from the start. Yes, only love can break your heart. What if your world should fall apart? I have a friend I've never seen. He hides his head inside a dream. Someone should call him and see if he can come out. Try to lose the down that he's found. But only love can break your heart. Try to be Yes, only love can break your heart. What if your world should fall apart? I have a friend I've never seen. He hides his head inside a dream. Yes, only love can break your heart. Yes, only love can break your heart. Yes, only love can break your heart. Yeah. Hi, Cyril. And hi, Gil. You've missed a couple of decades. Well done, Frankie Morgan. 70s, definitely, yes. But it was just into the 70s and no more. I wasn't really aware of Neil Young until after the Gold Rush, and he'd made another 2 albums before that. Plus, he'd done some with the Buffalo Springfield. And I remember when I first went to university at Stirling in the early 70s, right at the beginning of the 70s, really. We were in digs in Bridge of Allen, me and another bunch of geezers. And we got flung out the digs halfway through the semester. They have semesters, not terms at Stirling. Because someone had come in drunk and broken the lavvy. And I can reveal now, after all these years, that it was me. I think the law is unlikely to catch up with me now. I didn't mean it, though. I just came in drunk and I fell and I broke the lavvy seat off, you know, as you do. And we got chucked out and we got put in digs in, what was the place again? Lovely place, Dunblane, yeah. And they kept the radio on. We had breakfast and it was a really nice digs, much, much nicer than the digs we were in. And the radio was always on in the morning. I kept hearing that song, Only Love Can Break Your Heart. And of course, you know, I mean, just, 19, I think, at the time. And 18, in fact. Only Love Can Break Your Heart really reaches out to you when you're that age, you know. And I thought it was wonderful that it was just so simple and direct and plaintive. The only thing was that I thought it was a woman that was singing until I heard it was a guy called Neil Young. I thought, oh, right. The other thing that I thought was he had a friend he'd never seen who hides his head inside a tree, which also was a bit silly of me. Anyway, that is the long, boring story of Only Love Can Break Your Heart from the early 70s, Neil Young. Lovely song. Aye. They still talk about me in Dunblane. Yeah, you just don't go to Bridge Allen, Greg. There's that bastard that broke the lavvy. Anyway, this is another old song. Shouldn't say that, giveaway. But this one everyone will get, The Decade. It's a wonderful song written by a fantastic songwriter. Well, I'll say more about it later. Dirty old river, must you keep rolling, rolling into the night? People so busy, make me feel dizzy. Taxi light shines so bright, but I don't need no friends as long as I gaze on Waterloo sunset. I am in paradise. Every day I look at the world from my window. The chilliest evening time, Waterloo sunset's fine. Terry meets Julie, Waterloo Station, every Friday night. But I am so lazy, don't want to wander, I stay at home at night. But I don't gaze on Waterloo sunset, I am in paradise. Every day I look at the world from my window. The chilly, chilliest evening time, Waterloo sunset's fine. Waterloo sunset's fine. Millions of people swarming like flies round Waterloo underground. Terry and Julie cross over the river where they feel safe and sound. And they don't need no friends as long as they gaze on Waterloo sunset, they're in paradise. Sunset's fine. Waterloo sunset's fine. Waterloo sunset's fine. Yeah, Waterloo sunset. Okay, everyone knows that's from the 60s. Yep, 67 was a brilliant year, Frank Morgan. There were 3 singles came out in 67 that changed my life. One of them was that one, Waterloo Sunset. One of them was The Wind Cries Mary by Jimi Hendrix, which is fantastic. Made me think about, you know, playing the guitar with a clean sound and what you could do that people weren't doing as much then. And A Whiter Shade of Pale, because absolutely love that guy's voice, Gary Brooker's voice. It's fantastic. It's not my favourite Procol Harum song, that is called A Salty Dog, but Whiter Shade of Pale was great. And there were plenty of other great songs, but those 3 were standouts for me. So 1967 was a very special year in the 60s. And as you say, Frankie, Ray Davis, not a conventional sort of guy, but a fantastic songwriter. Okay, this is more like the usual stuff that I do. I think I've done it once before. Again, because it's the band, you'll guess the decade, but although there is something interesting about the song and how it was released, because it's a wonderful song. Anyway, I'll tell you afterwards. Over by the wildwood, hot summer night, we lay in the tall grass till the morning light. If I had my way, I'd never get the urge to roam, but a young man serves his country and an old man guards the home. Don't send me no distant salutations, no silly souvenirs from far away. Don't leave me alone in the twilight, 'cause twilight is the loneliest time of day. Never gave it a second thought, never crossed my mind. What's right and what's not, I'm not the judging kind. I could take the darkness, oh, storms in the skies, but we all got certain trials burning up inside. Don't put me in a frame upon the mantle where memories turn dusty. Oh twilight, 'cause twilight is the loneliest time of day. Don't leave me alone in the twilight, 'cause twilight is the loneliest time of day. Yeah. So, no one has guessed, but I guess everyone knows that's the 70s, it was the band. However, there's lots of recordings of it. The best one is the one that they used eventually, with Rick Danko singing. But there are recordings of it with Robbie, who wrote the song, singing as well. The funny thing, or not funny thing about it, but the thing about it was they didn't put it on the album, the Northern Lights Southern Cross album. They just made it the B-side of Acadian Driftwood, the single. But when they remastered it in the early in the 20s to 2010, they put that one on as well. And it's really, it's really odd, because it's actually, to me, one of the best songs on the album as it's remastered. I know I'm usually fine without a Pop Shield, George, but I have actually a couple of times tonight. I've had a hard day. Faking computers been playing me up. However, touch wood, it seems to be all right now. Okay, this is one that I've done quite a lot. I had to look up what decade it came from. It's Richard Thompson. And it's a delight to play on this guitar, I have to say. It's Richard Thompson. And of course, Richard's career spans from the 60s up to the present day. So, you know, if you don't have all the albums, or you don't pay attention to things, you know, it's quite easy to. And I had a completely the wrong impression of what era this one came from. But it's a great song anyway, and you probably all know what it. But I didn't. I do now. Oh, bugger off. Technology is great, eh? I was 19 when I came to town. They called it the summer of love. They were burning babies, burning flags, the hawks against the doves. I took a job in the steamy down on Caldrum Street. I fell in love with a laundry girl, she's working next to me. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. And you wouldn't want me any other way. Brown hair zigzag round her face, and a look of half surprise. Like a fox caught in the headlights, there was an animal in her eyes. She said, young man, oh can't you see, I'm not the factory kind, and if you don't take me out of here, I'll surely lose my mind. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. And you wouldn't want me any other way. We bussed around the market towns, we picked fruit down in Kent, and we could tinker lamps and pots and knives wherever we went. And I said that we might settle down and get a few acres dug, fire burning in the hearth and babies on the rug. She said, oh man, you foolish man, that surely sounds like hell. You might be lord of half the world, you'll not own me as well. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price on love, I'll stay. And you wouldn't want me any other way. We was camping down the Gar one time, the work was pretty good. She thought we shouldn't wait for frost, and I thought maybe we should. We was drinking more in those days, and tempers reached a pitch, and like a fool I let her run with the rambling itch. And the last I hear she's sleeping out, back on the Derby beat, white horse in her hip pocket and a wolfhound at her feet. And they say she even married once a man named Romany Brown, but even a gypsy caravan was too much settling down. And they say her flower is faded now, hard weather and hard booze, but maybe that's just the price you pay for the change that you refuse. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, and I miss her more than ever words could say. If I could just taste all her wildness now, if I could hold her in my arms today, then I wouldn't want her any other way. Well, they say her flower is faded now, hard weather and hard booze, but maybe that's just the price you pay for the change that you refuse. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, and I miss her more than ever words could say. If I could just taste all her wildness now, if I could hold her in my arms today, then I wouldn't want her any other way. Okay, give me 2 ticks to change guitars again. And I put this back in the case so I don't knock it over. Hi Cyril, what guitars you got for sale? Put up there, someone might go for them. Oh, which one? Fuck it up. Mr. Greg, someone left a mattress in Bridge of Allen a few years ago. That's like a line from that song, MacArthur Park, isn't it? Someone left a mattress and... Sorry about that. Hello, Derek. Okay. Aye, anyway, Richard Thompson, has anyone guessed? Or do you know already that that's actually from the 90s? I thought it was from much further back than that, but it's not. And... Paul, that was that Taylor, that was Phil Conkey's Taylor that he's left for me, and the action on it was a big help. But the Martin's action's fine as well. really, if you get someone decent to set your guitars up, mostly the action should be quite good. Okay, so last acoustic one of my songs. You can tell me what decade it was from. Not hard to guess, actually. 9 p.m. on Broad Street, empty bus goes rattling by. November rain on the pavement, no moon in the sky. Lonely souls in the evening, walking home alone. In my memory, midnight falls on Broad Street, taxis zipping by. Autumn frost on the gardens, winter in the sky. I am here as a young man, walking home alone. In my memory, 3 a.m. on Broad Street, this town is fast asleep. Caught under the streetlights, these memories I keep. I am the ghost of a young man, walking home alone. In my memory, I met you there on Broad Street as the dawn touched the sky. You took my hand in the half-light and the sun began to rise. You and I in the morning, walking home alone. In my memory, I met you there on Broad Street as the dawn touched the sky. You took my hand in the half-light and the sun began to rise. You and I in the morning, walking home alone. In my memory, in my memory. Okay, so switch to the electric. Is it still these guilds that you've got up for sale, Cyril? Hang on. Okay, Broad Street was 2010 to 2020. Nearer 2010, I'd have said. So what is it you've got for sale? The Back of Slories and the Bookies Club. Okay, this is Tom Waits' song. I forget what decade this is from. I think I know what it is. And if I'm wrong, well, I'm wrong. I'll know by the first time. So let us see if we can find it. Oh. It's called Way Down in the Hole. It was the theme tune for The Wire. This is my own arrangement. When you walk through the garden, you gotta watch your back. Well, I beg your pardon. You walk the straight and narrow track. If you walk with Jesus, He's gonna save your soul. But you gotta keep a devil way down in the hole. He got the fire and the fury at his command. Well, you don't have to worry. Hold on to Satan's hand. If you walk with Satan, when the thunder rolls, you gotta help me keep that devil way down in the hole. All the angels sing about Jesus' mighty sword, and they shield you with their wings and keep you close to the Lord. Don't pay no heed to temptation, 'cause his hands are so cold. You gotta help me keep the devil way down in the hole. 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 Yep. Yep, that was me, Dave. Sorry. I should have admitted it earlier, but you know. I was always worried that the law would catch up. It was completely an accident. Too much pop. Led astray by bad companions, I'm sure. Anyway, that was Down in the Hole. I'm pretty sure it's from the 80s. Tom Waits' album from the 80s. But actually, my memory may be playing me false here. no doubt someone will put me right if I'm. This next song's a Johnny Cash song, and well, you'll probably guess when it comes from. Hey, if I can find it. Here we go. Don't know my name out your window, I'm leaving. I won't even turn my head. Don't tell your kinfolks to give me no talking. I'll be gone like I said. You say that same old thing that you've been saying all along. Lay in your bed and keep your mouth shut till I'm gone. Don't give me that old familiar crying, cuss and moan. Understand your man, tired of your bad mouthing. Understand your man. You can give my other suit to the Salvation Army. Everything else I'll leave behind. Ain't taking nothing that'll slow down my traveling while I'm untangling my mind. Ain't gonna repeat what I said anymore while I'm breathing air that ain't been breathed before. I'll be gone as a wild goose in winter, then you'll understand your man. Understand your man. Understand your man and buy him lager. Understand your man and chocolate donuts. Understand your man. Just a little bit of fun there. I went to see Albert Lee a while ago and sort of thought, I like fancy doing some sort of rockabilly type thing. And it is the same sort of thing as Don't Think Twice, It's Alright, pretty much. And it's from the 60s, that one. When I was still at school, one of the photos there you can see is me. When I was still at school, I wanted a guitar, but I didn't have any money because I was at school. So I got a job playing in a country and western band and paid up a guitar. And that wasn't one of the numbers we did, but it is from that era. They did lots of quite good stuff that I still quite like, but then they got a singer who did lots of Jim Reeves, and that was the ball burst for me, like. But it was a very good learning experience. I had no idea how to play lead guitar, country lead guitar, but my big brother had just got this album called Nashville Skyline, a Bob Dylan country album, and I just sat and played along with that and pretty much got the idea of it. So Cyril has got a Guild 6-string, and a Guild 6-string Skoda, the Guild 12-string for sale, and a PRS Tremonti. So, hit them up for them. You'll get a fair price from Honest Cyril. Okay, this is my last song, and it's one of the old favourites. One of my old favourites, anyway. And everyone will know what era it comes from, but I won't tell you anyway. It's called In the Good Old Summertime, ironically. Bugger off. Hang on. No. I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. Getting mixed up. Right, I know what I want to do. That's me. Okay. Summer morning came away. The anesthetic didn't take. Switched your eyes on for a while and saw the city's evil smile. Breathe the poisoned air and walk across the street or around the block. Hang around and watch the clock and listen to the worthless talk in the good old summertime with your cup held in your hand. Will you beg or turn to crime in the good old summertime? In the good old summertime, destitution on your mind. Can you hear those death bells chime in the good old summertime? In the artificial warmth of shops and pubs and restaurants, servers with a plastic smile can fool you for a little while, but in the end it's all the same. Go downtown and sign your name, and in the meantime try to find a way to fill up empty time in the good old summertime with your cup held in your hand. Will you beg or turn to crime in the good old summertime? In the good old summertime, destitution on your mind. Can you hear those death bells chime in the good old summertime? In the good old summertime, with your cup held in your hand, will you beg or turn to crime? In the good old summertime, in the good old summertime, destitution on your mind. Can you hear those death bells chime in the good old summertime? In the good old summertime, with your cup held in your hand, will you beg or turn to crime? In the good old summertime, in the good old summertime, destitution on your mind. Can you hear those death bells chime in the good old summertime? Okay, thank you very much. Good old summertime, and that was written in the 80s. It was my Thatcher's Britain song, but you all knew that anyway. Thank you very much for tuning in. I felt a bit rusty tonight because I've kind of got out of the way of work and everything with my feet and all that, you know. But we didn't do too bad. And thank you very much for coming back and listening, everybody. And Cyril does have these guitars for sale, so if anyone's interested, you can give me a shout, and I'll get in touch with them for you if you want. Okay, so thanks again, folks, and see you sometime down the road. Probably next week.